Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo.
Tears, laughter, and history collided in Alex Eala's viral kiss cam moment, which came on the heels of a heartbreaking loss and left her parents stunned, all while marking her stunning breakthrough into the top 50. Welcome back to Gulf Vision Tennis, your #1 source for the rawest, realest, and most electrifying stories from the world of professional tennis. Today, we're not talking about forehands, backhands, or tournament draws. We're talking about a moment so pure, so unexpected, and so deeply heartwarming that it stopped the entire ASB Classic in its tracks and sent shockwaves across social media worldwide. We've seen racket smashes that rattled stadiums, heated umpire arguments that dominated headlines for weeks, and tears of devastation streaming down the faces of champions. But this moment was something entirely different. What happened in Auckland, New Zealand this week was something else entirely, a moment that reminded everyone in that packed stadium and the millions watching around the world why we fell in love with this beautiful sport in the first place. Tennis isn't just about trophies, prize money, or glory. It's about the human stories behind every single point played. This story centers on the Philippines' tennis queen and national treasure, Alexandra Eala, and follows a brutally heartbreaking semi-final loss that had an entire nation holding its breath. But more than that, it features a surprise kiss cam moment too, completely caught off guard parents, and an 11-word scream from center court that sent the entire stadium into a collective "ah" that could probably be heard all the way in Manila. If you think you know Alex Eala as the fierce competitor who battles with warrior-like intensity on court, wait until you see her as a daughter, a family-oriented young woman who understands that success is never achieved alone. And on top of it all, we're breaking down the massive bombshell news currently shaking up the tennis world and making history for the Philippines. Alex Eala has officially cracked the elite WTA top 50, reaching a career-high ranking that places her among the absolute best players in the world. In this deep dive, we break down every layer of her remarkable journey, from the epic semi-final battle against China's rising star Wang Senu, to the historic ranking implications that could redefine the trajectory of her entire career, and the emotional backstory of the Eala family, who sacrificed everything to build a champion from the ground up. This is a comprehensive look at one of the most touching and significant moments in recent tennis history, so settle in and get comfortable. Before we get to the viral moment that has everyone from casual fans to hardened tennis veterans talking and sharing clips across every social media platform imaginable, we need to properly set the stage. Picture the scene: the 2026 ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, the semi-finals, and stakes that couldn't be higher, a clash of Asian tennis titans that had the entire tennis world watching. The international tennis community had been buzzing with anticipation for days before the first ball was even struck. On one side of the net stood the rising dragon of Chinese tennis, Wang Senu, who had been playing lights out throughout the tournament, channeling the aggressive, flat-hitting style of her idol Li Na, the former Grand Slam champion who became a global superstar. Tall, powerfully built, and armed with devastating pace, Wang struck the ball with a force that could rip the racket from an unprepared opponent's hands, demolishing challengers on her way to the semi-finals and arriving with supreme confidence and momentum. On the other side of the net was the pride of the Philippines, the crafty left-handed sensation Alexandra Eala. At just 20 years old and barely out of her teenage years, Eala entered the tournament with a fire in her eyes not seen since her dominant junior US Open triumph, the moment she first announced herself to the tennis world. Alexandra Eala wasn't in Auckland just to participate or make up the numbers. She was there to dominate, to prove she belonged among the elite, and to continue her meteoric rise up the rankings. From the very first point, the match was an absolute war, not just high-level tennis but a blistering physical and mental chess match played at full throttle, with both players pushing their bodies and minds to the limit. The opening set became a masterclass in modern baseline aggression and tactical brilliance, as Eala unleashed the wicked left-handed spin she perfected at the legendary Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, forcing Wang deep into the corners with heavy topspin, creating seemingly impossible angles, and then firing laser-precise winners down the line. But Wang Senu was no pushover, far from it. A proven fighter who clawed her way into the world's top 40 through sheer grit and skill, she absorbed Eala's assault, redirected the crushing pace, and responded in kind. The two warriors traded breaks of serve like heavyweight boxers, exchanging brutal uppercuts in the championship rounds, momentum swinging back and forth like a pendulum with neither able to seize full control. As the battle intensified, the once muted crowd began to realize exactly what was unfolding before them. What Alex had been orchestrating suddenly became clear as a ripple of laughter began in one section of the stands and spread like wildfire throughout the stadium, instantly transforming into a roaring wave of approval and delight. Then the chanting began, soft at first, but quickly building in volume and intensity. Kiss, kiss, kiss. The entire arena joined in, clapping in rhythm and chanting in unison, urging Mike and Riza to give the crowd what it wanted. Riza Manago, herself a former Southeast Asian Games medalist and bronze-winning swimmer who had competed at the highest levels under immense pressure, turned bright red with embarrassment, her hands flying to her face as she burst into laughter, the kind of genuine laugh that comes from being utterly shocked yet loving every second of it. Mike Eala, usually the stoic, composed tennis dad who had watched countless matches without revealing much emotion, finally cracked, his serious facade crumbling into a wide, genuine smile that lit up his entire face. T was the kind of smile that reaches the eyes and completely transforms a person. And then, with the entire stadium watching, chanting, and recording on their phones, they gave the people exactly what they wanted, but not in the way anyone expected. Instead of the typical Hollywood-style kiss the camera usually captures, they shared something far more meaningful and genuine. They turned toward each other and embraced in a tight, lingering hug, holding on with an intensity that spoke volumes about their journey together. That hug carried years of sacrifice. Countless early mornings, expensive international flights, lonely nights spent apart while their daughter trained on another continent, financial strain, and unwavering belief. It was a wordless message that said, "We made it. Against all odds, we are here. We are together. And look at what our daughter has accomplished." The stadium erupted once more, this time even louder, a tidal wave of sound that seemed to wash over everyone present. But the true tearjerker, the moment that even the toughest and most cynical observers couldn't ignore, was yet to come. The real tearjerker, the moment that had even hardened sports journalists wiping their eyes, came next. As her parents' embrace filled the giant screen above the court, Alex Eala stood alone at center court, surrounded by 15,000 seats, and gently wiped away a tear rolling down her cheek. But these were not tears of defeat from a semi-final loss, nor of frustration or disappointment with her performance. They were tears of gratitude, love, and overwhelming recognition of everything her family had sacrificed to bring her to this exact moment. She lifted both hands high above her head, stretched them toward the sky, and formed a perfect heart with her fingers, a universal symbol of love that transcends language and culture. Then, at the top of her lungs, with every ounce of sincerity and emotion she could summon, she shouted the 11 words that instantly went viral, spreading across every social media platform and being shared millions of times by everyone from casual tennis fans to rival players and beyond. She screamed the words with raw, unfiltered emotion. "Mom, Dad, I love you. This is for both of you." Just 11 simple, straightforward words that, on the surface, might not seem extraordinary. But in that exact moment, after a brutal, exhausting loss, thousands of miles from home, with the hopes of a nation of more than 100 million people resting on her young shoulders, those words meant everything. They compressed years of sacrifice, struggle, and belief into a single instant of pure human emotion. The stadium didn't respond with polite applause. It melted. Hardened sports fans who thought they had seen it all were suddenly blinking back tears, as a unified collective "ah" echoed so loudly it could have registered on seismographs in Wellington more than 300 meters away. Strangers embraced in the stands, grown men wiped their eyes, and for a fleeting moment, sport transcended competition, reminding everyone why we care so deeply in the first place. Tea was a powerful reminder that behind every athlete we watch, behind every ranking point and every prize money check, there is a family, a support system that rarely gets the spotlight. Parents sacrifice their own dreams so their children can chase theirs, driven by unconditional love. But while that hug and heart sign were winning hearts and going viral on social media, Alexandra Eala's performance on the court was quietly rewriting Philippine sports history. The latest WTA rankings, released this morning, confirmed the groundbreaking news. Eala has officially cracked the elite tier of women's professional tennis, rising to a career-high world number 49. Pause and let that sink in. Top 50, officially one of the 50 best female tennis players on the planet. To casual fans, the jump from 53 to 49 might seem small, just 4 spots, but for anyone who understands the brutal ecosystem of professional tennis, breaking into the top 50 is a golden ticket. It changes everything about a player's career trajectory and opens doors that were previously locked. And all the while, with the entire stadium watching, chanting, and recording on their phones, her parents gave the crowd exactly what they wanted: not a typical Hollywood-style kiss, but something far more meaningful. A tight, heartfelt embrace that spoke volumes about years of sacrifice, love, and perseverance. The intensity of that hug spoke volumes about their journey together. It was filled with years of sacrifice, countless early mornings, expensive international flights, lonely nights with their daughter training on another continent, financial strain, and unwavering belief. Without a single word, it said, "We made it. Against all odds, we are here. We are together. And look at what our daughter has accomplished. The stadium erupted again, this time even louder, a wave of sound that seemed to wash over everyone present. Yet the real tear-jerker, the moment that had even the toughest, most cynical sports journalists wiping their eyes, was still to come. As her parents embraced on the giant screen above, Alexandra Eala stood alone at the center of the massive court, surrounded by 15,000 seats, and wiped away a tear sliding down her cheek. But here's the crucial thing. She wasn't crying because she had lost that semi-final match. Those weren't tears of disappointment, frustration, or anger. These weren't tears of disappointment, frustration, or anger at her performance. They were entirely different. Alexandra Eala cried because she was overwhelmed with gratitude, love, and recognition of everything her family had done to bring her to this exact moment. She raised both hands high above her head, stretching toward the sky, and formed a perfect heart with her fingers, that universal symbol of love that transcends language and culture. Then, at the very top of her lungs, with every ounce of emotion and sincerity she could muster, she shouted the 11 words that instantly went viral across every social media platform, shared millions of times by casual fans, rival players, and even celebrities who don't follow tennis. She screamed, "Mom, Dad, I love you. This is for both of you." Just 11 simple words, but in that precise moment, after a brutal and exhausting loss, thousands of miles from home, with the hopes of over 100 million people resting on her young shoulders, they meant everything. They compressed years of sacrifice into a single instant of pure, unfiltered human emotion. The stadium didn't just applaud politely, it melted. Hardened sports fans blinked back tears, a unified collective "ah," so loud it probably registered on seismographs in Wellington over 300 meters away. Strangers hugged in the stands, grown men wiped their eyes. It was one of those rare, transcendent moments in sports that reminds us why we care so deeply. And it was a powerful reminder that behind every athlete we watch, every ranking point, every prize check, there is a family, a support system that rarely gets the spotlight, parents who give up their own dreams so their children can chase theirs, and unconditional love. Now, it's time to pivot from the deeply emotional to the genuinely historical. Now let's pivot from the deeply emotional to the genuinely historical. While that hug and heart sign were winning hearts and going viral on social media, Alexandra Eala's performance on the court was quietly rewriting Philippine sports history in real time. The groundbreaking news was officially confirmed this morning with the updated WTA rankings. Eala has surged to a career-high world number 49, cracking the elite tier of women's professional tennis. Top 50. Read that again and let it sink in. She is now officially one of the 50 best female tennis players on the planet. To the casual fan, the jump from 53 to 49 might seem minor, just 4 spots, but for anyone who understands the brutal ecosystem of professional tennis, breaking into the top 50 is the golden ticket. It transforms a player's career overnight, opening doors that were previously locked. Outside the top 100, players grind through qualifying tournaments, often playing 3 matches just to reach the main draw, competing on outer courts with no cameras, no crowds, and no attention, fighting for scraps of prize money and points. But once you break into the top 50, everything changes. Automatic entry into main draws, direct access to prestigious WTA 1000 events, recognition as a legitimate star by tournament organizers, exponential increases in prize money, and endorsement opportunities for major brands. Respect from fellow players shifts as well, solidifying your status at the very top of the sport. And as we scan the Manuka Doctor Arena, one question remains. Who will be next?
As we search the Manuka Doctor Arena, who will be next? Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Eala.
Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin at